So Chris Vance is CEO and founder of Playground Sessions. They've got a revolutionary piano learning software co-created by music legend Quincy Jones. Chris Vance, welcome to Radio for Small Business.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
So as soon as I say piano learning software, I think, can you teach me how to play my favorite songs?
Absolutely. And we always say that music is the most powerful thing in the world. Quincy loves to talk about how culture is made up of three things: food, language, and music. And the last two things on earth are going to be water and music. So we all know the positive impacts that music plays in all of our lives. Really can't live without it. And, from an educational perspective, it really is the most powerful subject in the world. And technology has advanced so much. And, by implementing technology in a very smart way, we can now get people playing their favorite songs and expressing themselves through music in a matter of minutes.
Wow. So I got to know the story. How did you and Quincy Jones eventually get together and say, hey, we've got to do this deal to form this company? How'd this work out?
So Quincy had actually read an article about Playground Sessions when we were really just at concept stage. I think we may have had just a beginning prototype to show just what our technology, would be able to do, and he was really blown away. So, as I said, Quincy's a huge believer in the positive energy, right, that music gives the world, and loves to talk about how melody is the voice of God. And Quincy is an incredibly well-traveled man, speaks many languages, and is very familiar with Rosetta Stone. Talks often about how he learned so many languages through Rosetta Stone, and always felt like the world needed a Rosetta Stone for music. And someone on his team had mentioned a company in New York City that was working on something like that, and he goes, I'd be honored to meet the CEO of the company. And, when I first met Quincy, he was funny. He said, listen, you're on the dirt road. But I dig the dirt road, right? And that was 3-4 years ago. And he just joined right away, became an investor, leads up all of the music and the overall experience of the product. Incredibly, is a huge leader for us, and really knows his stuff, to say the least.
That's pretty cool. And obviously, Quincy Jones isn't the only person who believes in Playground Sessions, because you guys have had a pretty successful round of raising some capital recently online. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. Crowdfunder had platform now. The laws have changed, and now you can publicly market yourselves as a company to accredited investors. And, Quincy and I spoke about it and both felt Quincy has so many fans. Playground Sessions has so many fans. We thought it's an amazing opportunity now to invite people to come and invest along Quincy Jones and Marty Albertson, who's the former CEO of Guitar Center, as well as some other big investors that we have as part of Playground, so they can enjoy not just the product, but also the journey as investors and shareholders. And hopefully as the company continues to grow, right, universally, that they can capture some of the value that we're creating for so many people across the world as investors.
Wow. So you mentioned definitely that the laws have changed. I'm guessing you're talking about the Jobs Act, which now allows companies to be able to raise capital through crowdfunding. What are some of the advantages that you think your company has, other than a music superstar, in raising the capital? In fact, what was your round? What did you close out at?
So we're raising $2 million right now. We've already raised over $1 million, a little over $1 million towards that. But we've raised a couple $1 million prior to that. Playground Sessions, the technology is absolutely amazing what we're able to do today. And we have, patented technology, by far the most advanced. And whether or not you're talking about music learning or language learning or math learning, we've really stepped up the game in terms of online learning. It's pretty amazing. So, there's more than 16 million people taking online classes today. That number's more than doubled and continues to grow recently. There's 40 million people, in China today trying to learn how to play an instrument or play the keyboard specifically.
Wow.
So for us, it's really been about creating a technology that allows people now, really for the first time, to play in the comfort of their own home at their own pace and learning from their favorite song. That's really critical. We have publishing licenses, global licenses with the major music publishers, from Sony to Universal to Disney. So now a user at home after a long day, put on their computer, go to an iTunes-like store that we have and say, okay, I want to learn this song by John Legend or by Adele or whoever, or even Beethoven. And then the software will break the music down note by note, surround yourself by great music. We always say we make it really hard to sound bad, right? So even right from the beginning on day one, you're going to be right in the middle of the music. And, the technology will do a lot of the heavy lifting. You're just going to be playing a few notes, but we just make sure those few notes are really, really important. This is where Quincy's so good. And then so you can emotionally connect to the music right away.
Wow. So my wife is always telling me, you know how ladies are. They're like, we should go out, we should be romantic, and we should do more romantic things. If I get the software, right? And how long will it be before I can start learning to play the piano, those John Legend songs or all those soulful songs?
Day one.
Really?
Day one. I was just with a customer, and they were telling me how they recorded themselves and shared it with a loved one in just a few days. And it's taken date nights to a whole new level, the way he was explaining it to me. But we have this new methodology that's trademarked called the play to learn methodology. It's another big reason that people are investing, is just because of the unique approach to the curriculum. And right away, we're going to have you playing, and we're going to allow the learning to seamlessly come out of it. So you're playing right away, and you're playing songs that you're familiar with, that you love, that you've internalized, and it makes it so much easier and more fun, right? So you're playing right away. I think it's almost too good to be true.
That's going to help
But
me.
It's been 4 years of development in curriculum, in technology, with Quincy overseeing it all.
That's truly going to help me when it comes to date night. I may have to pick that up for sure.
There you go.
So let's talk about how beginners, because the Jobs Act just really, all the laws really changed to allow, I guess, smaller investors or non-accredited investors to invest money in startups. What should maybe a beginner do in order to even prepare to invest in a company like yours or any other company for that matter?
Well, I understand. I haven't, for Playground Sessions, on the Crowdfunder. So if you go to crowdfunder.com/playground sessions, that's where you're going to learn all about our campaign. And right from there, you can show interest in investing. The minimum investment is $10,000. But for Playground Sessions, this is for accredited investors.
Gotcha.
So I understand recently as well, the laws passed where there's opportunities now to invest as non-accredited investors, but that's still very new. And I believe there is a lot that the company needs to do from a legal perspective that may be somewhat costly. I'm still trying to learn that myself.
I remember reading up on it too.
I haven't seen a lot of companies that have done that, but I know the idea here, right, is that publicly now companies can learn about opportunities to invest in their own portfolio for themselves in great companies. Of course, the reason why they started with accredited investors, any investment has a certain level of risk. And if you're an accredited investor, the government is more comfortable believing that you understand what those risks are and you can financially plan appropriately. So with Playground Sessions, it is for accredited investors. So that's typically defined as somebody who's made $200,000 as a household for the previous 2 years or has more than, I think it's $1 million in assets. So a lot of the investors will be, they make $200,000, as a household, right, and would like to invest $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 or $25,000, whatever it may be, as part of a broader investment strategy that they have for themselves. And hopefully Playground Sessions will be wildly successful, not only here in the States, but globally, and can return a great windfall for investors.
That's pretty awesome. Our way. That's pretty awesome. In case you're just tuning in, we've been talking to Chris Vance. He's CEO and founder of Playground Sessions. They've got a revolutionary piano learning software that's co-created by music legend Quincy Jones. Chris, why don't you at least give the listeners one more time a way to find out about how to invest in Playground Sessions?
Yep. Just go to crowdfunder.com/playground sessions, right? And you can watch Quincy talk about the product and hear a little bit more about myself, read up on some of the board of directors and big-time investors, and right from that portal, you'll be able to express interest in investing with us.
Awesome. Chris Vance with Playground Sessions. Thanks for taking your time out on radio for smallbusiness.com.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love it.